Hi, my name is Emil. Today I'm going to compare and talk about the difference between the perspective and perceptions and behaviors of the East and Westerns. So, first thing is, how does the East and West think in different ways? So, one major difference is that the West is heavily individualistic, whereas Easterns focus more on group achievement. So, they are self-reliant and independent. Westerners tend to value success and self-improvement, so they tend to work in groups. So, in favor than the needs and wants of the individual. So next one is, what's the difference between Western and Eastern society? The main difference between Eastern and Western culture is that people in the East are more traditional and conservative, while Westerners are not as traditional and conservative as the people in the East. What are the differences between Eastern and Western society culture and individuals? Generally, modesty and collectivism are highly valued in Eastern cultures. On the other hand, people from the West are more individualistic. Westerners focus more on showing one's true colors and being genuine. Westerners also tend not to conceal their feelings and intentions. They say exactly what they mean. So they are straight to the point. No, wala nang paligoy-ligoy pa or what. So what is Eastern way of thinking? So the Eastern style embodies the value of harmony, social relations, or interdependence. So yun nga, like what I've mentioned earlier, they are more self-reliant. So for the Western, what is the Western way of thinking? Specifically, the Western style of thought is characterized as embodying the value of individual distinctiveness or independence. Western versus East Asian thinking. The dominant way of thinking in many Western cultures can be described as analytic. This thinking style is characterized by a strong focus on attributes and of individual objects, and the assumption that objects can be understood independent of their context. So lastly, what is the difference between the Western and Eastern philosophy? Now, for the Eastern, philosophers focus to look at an idea as a whole rather than breaking down ideas and concepts into categories. Eastern philosophies prefer to generalize the ideas and show how they ill reflect some truths, although Western philosophy tends to focus on the parts of an idea. Now, for their similarities, what is the similarities of the Western and Eastern culture? Now, Eastern and Western cultures resemble each other in some notable aspects. The first similarity in the adherence to religious belief. Both civilizations shape their lives according to their religious beliefs. As an example, Christians living in the West go to the church every Sunday to pray. Next one is, what is the similarity of Western and Eastern philosophy? Now, both of these philosophers have exerted an enormous influence through their works, and both argue for the existence of innate knowledge, that human beings are born knowing right from the wrong and good from bad, and need only be encouraged in pursue goodness in order to live fulfilling life. So we are going to summarize the lesson, or what we got from the speaker Julian S. Correll. So for what is this speech all about? Well, how to differentiate cultural behaviors and assess every situation, how they look at different perspectives. The reasons for his speech is for us to become aware of others' perspectives, beliefs, and perceptions. Now, for the purpose and lesson, the key factor is to benefit from cultural diversity, because everyone sees the world through cultural glasses, like what he mentioned. It's not about what you see, it's about what you perceive, and according to him, it is all about taking small steps that maybe one day the world will benefit from diversity, meaning there will be equality despite your race, beliefs, and culture, because that is where misunderstanding, miscommunication, and discrimination begins in our lack of diversity. In addition to that, cultural diversity helps us recognize and respect ways of being that are not necessarily our own, so that as we interact with others, we can build bridges to trust, respect, and understanding across cultures. That is why the reason why cultural diversity increases problem-solving ability, also creativity and innovation. That is all. Thank you for listening.